What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. And a few days ago, we got our first look at Marvel's The Eternals. Marvel released a trailer that had multiple trailers inside of it, including this teaser trailer. So it was a teaser trailer inside of a trailer.
They're in the computer?
And with the few seconds of the Eternals footage that we actually got some confirmations for a leak that we got for the entire plot of the Eternals not too long ago. And this plot leak is actually backed with quite a bit of evidence, including some evidence from the teaser that we got the other day and from the teaser trailer that people saw at CCXP not too long ago. So a good amount, if not all of this plot leak, is pretty legitimate. So of course I'll go over the whole thing and then talk about how I kind of really don't like one specific part about it. And I think a lot of people probably won't like it as well, but we'll see. And a reminder, I'm still doing my Stormbreaker giveaway. All you have to do to enter, subscribe to my channel and my other channel, Cosmic Culture, details in the description down below. So again, like I said, a lot of these parts in this plot leak have been confirmed to be true by either the trailer they showed at CCXP or the trailer that we just recently got. So let's dive into it, start right from the beginning. It says the opening title card will explain the Deviants and the Eternals. The Deviants were created by the Celestials to hunt predators that prey on intelligent life on newly evolving worlds. But then they started to hunt life as well, so the Celestials created the Eternals to kill the Deviants. We then open 5,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, where a man is fishing on some rocks with his son and is attacked by a deviant from the ocean. The Eternals show up and a short battle commences, after which they line up in a triangular hero pose, and this rolls into the Marvel logo opening. Jumping to present day, Sersi and Dane Whitman are teachers in the UK and they are dating. During a class lesson, a large earthquake strikes and Sersi saves a child from a falling object by turning it into sand. Later, while out on a date, a deviant attacks Sersi, Sprite, and Dane. During the battle, Icarus shows up and they fight it off after noting that they thought all the deviants were destroyed and, unlike others, this deviant in particular was able to heal its own wounds. The group decides to visit Ajax, as she was the leader of the group. After arriving at the Midwest ranch where she is now living, they discover her dead body. A small golden device leaves Ajax's body and enters Sersi. This device is how Ajax used to communicate with the Celestials. After this, they decide to round up the rest of the Eternals to deal with the deviant threat. Thena and Gilgamesh are in Australia, and due to an issue with her memory, she randomly attacks the other Eternals. It says that Gilgamesh is obviously in love with Thena, but this is not played as a romantic relationship in the movie. Phastos lives with his husband and their child, but he decides to help due to the fact that he has fully embraced the human race and wants to protect his family. Makkari has been living in the Eternals' ship all this time. Kingo is a Bollywood actor, in which there's a short dance routine that introduces him, and he comes with the group along with his valet, who tries to document everything on video. And if you recall, this is actually a scene that we saw in the Eternals teaser. Kingo is Kumail Nanjiani, and in one of the scenes we saw him looking off into the distance, and we did see his valet with a camera in his hand. Druig is living in some rainforest, controlling a small village of people after losing faith in humanity and wanting to control them to stop war, famine, etc. During this scene, the Deviants attack the Eternals and Gilgamesh is killed fighting the Deviants in the forest. Sersi learns that the Celestials actually created both races, the Eternals and the Deviants, and that the Celestials are basically just very advanced robots. They seed young planets with the celestial egg that takes eons to mature. The evolving intelligent life on these planets feeds the Celestials' growth, so the Eternals are sent to protect the evolving life forms and kill the Deviants. However, after the emergence of the celestial egg, the Eternals are rebooted, and then they are sent to another world, and this is what is causing Thena's memory issue as she knows that the planet is doomed. This cycle has gone on for millions of years. Earth was seeded and Tiamat is about to emerge. This was actually the cause of the earthquake earlier. Once awakened, the Celestial will destroy the entire planet and all of the life on it. After learning this, the Eternals debate on what to do, and some decide to try and find a way to stop the emergence. Icarus disagrees. Sprite and Kingo are on his side, but Kingo agrees to help. Phastos designs a device, the Unimind, that will allow Druig to channel all of the Eternals' energy in the hope of controlling Tiamat and putting him back to sleep. Sersi learns that Ikaris actually knew about the Celestials' actual plan, and this is why he left the group hundreds of years ago. He killed Ajak because she had decided to help stop the emergence and save Earth. The group goes to where Tiamat is and attempts to use the device, but Ikaris and Sprite try to stop them. Sersi then uses the device to amplify her own powers and turn Tiamat to marble, just as his hand and part of his head is emerging from the Indian Ocean. After this, Ikaris flies off into space, towards the sun, and it's unclear if he just left or if he flew into the sun and killed himself. Then Sersi makes Sprite a real human with what remains of her powers. A few days later, Thena, Makkari, and Druig leave in the ship to seek out other Eternals and try to stop the cycle of destruction. Sersi, Kingo, and Phastos stay on Earth but are then pulled into space by Arishem and vanish. The plot leak then goes on to talk about what the two post-credit scenes could be, and according to this plot leak, here's what they are. The first one is Dane looking at an old box and he pulls out a sword that is wrapped up. Just as he is about to touch it, an off-screen voice stops him. This is obviously a setup for him to become his comic book character, the Black Knight. And the sword that he could be discovering is the Ebony Blade, a blade that had been carved from a meteor and enchanted by the wizard Merlin. It was originally made for the first Black Knight, Sir Percy of Scandia, who is an ancestor of Dane Whitman's. The second post-credit scene is on the Eternals' ship. Pip the Troll appears and introduces Star Fox. Now, for those of you who don't know, Star Fox is an Eternal and is actually the brother of Thanos. Thanos is actually an Eternal. He was born of two Eternal parents, but he inherited the Deviant gene, which is why he is insanely strong. And since the Eternals and Deviants are essentially immortal, I figured it was only a matter of time until Thanos' brother Star Fox actually appeared. So that's the plot leak, but there are a few main points that we have to talk about here. The one main point I want to talk about, which is the main point that I really don't like, is the fact that Ajak dies and is actually killed by Ikaris. To me, I'm not sure this would make sense. Ikaris is a good guy in the comics, and one of his main priorities in the comics is actually looking after his Eternal family. So to make him sort of a bad guy in this, I really don't like that, especially the fact that he would kill off Ajak, which is Salma Hayek's character. It would be such a waste to have her in the MCU for only a brief moment. Now, the problem here is that this leak talked about her settling in a Midwest ranch, in which we just saw in the trailer that is the case. She was on a horse wearing a cowboy hat on a ranch. And this leak came out a while ago, so this is probably true, which makes me pretty mad. That's a complete waste of Salma Hayek. But hopefully it could be wrong. However, there are many parts of this plot leak that are true. For example, it says that Sersi and Dane Whitman are teachers in the UK and that they're dating. And we've actually seen leaked pictures of this. We've actually seen Sersi and Dane Whitman kissing. Another part that is true is Phastos will live with his husband and their child. Marvel Studios has already confirmed that one of the Eternals will be gay, specifically Phastos, and as you can see here in the plot leak, that is another thing that's true. And then of course, Kingo being a Bollywood actor comes as no surprise. Kumail Nanjiani recently opened up about how he had to learn this whole dance sequence for the movie. So another true part, and then last but not least, the Druig is living in some rainforest scene seems to be true as well. And this actually explains one random scene that we got in the little teaser where we see most of the Eternals together and in the background are a bunch of people dressed in white. It is actually kind of creepy, but the fact that Druig has lost faith in humanity and is wanting to control humanity to stop war and famine and etc., this scene makes sense. This could be the village that he's living in, and these people could be the people that he's trying to control. So overall, this plot leak seems fairly accurate, which kind of makes me mad because I don't want Ajak to die within the first couple minutes of the movie. And I also don't want Ikaris to be bad. So it is possible that some parts are right of this plot leak and maybe some other parts aren't, but that could just be wishful thinking on my part. But let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. What would you think of this Eternals story plot? Would you enjoy this, or does this make you mad as well? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the latest MCU news. Don't forget to like the video, and for live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.